Greetings, folks. Welcome to another date on Homo Politicus. We reach you from Enterprise TV here in Lagos. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. On the program, we leave no turn unstoned, we leave no stone unturned. So let's go there. State of the nation, when retired generals meet behind closed doors. I hope you got that right. You know, country running is much akin to executing a war. In war, as indeed in peacetime, interest is key. After all, in politics, there is no permanent friendship nor enmity, only permanent interests. That's what I get told. So when in peacetime, retired generals, three of them who at different times where country heads meet, you can bet it is to take stock and therefore galvanize leadership into taking action. The Minna meeting of retired generals, all former heads of state on September 16, should never delude anyone into thinking that something is amiss. It's a matter of deep regret that in nearly 64 years of countryhood, our Nigeria is in a very bad place. The generals were not alone at the parley. A former National Security Advisor, NSA, General Aliyu Guso, was in tow. Details of the meeting were not known, but speculation is that the forthcoming Edo State Guba election and the refusal of the PDP in that state to sign a peace accord were on the lips of the concerned statesmen. To end this prologue, therefore, the statement of the late Ghanaian leader Kwame Nkrumah about countryhood comes to mind. He said, quote, "Freedom is not something that one people can bestow on another as a gift. They claim it as their own, and none can keep it from them. Forward ever, backward never. We face neither east nor west, we face forward." End quote. I'm done, so let's get talking. My two discussants are familiar not just with the subject matter, but with the theme, of Homo Politicus. So let's meet and greet them. Akin Fatunke is a known face, not just here, but around the country. He is a chartered accountant, but finds time to discuss Nigeria as a national affairs analyst. Mr. Fatunke, I greet you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Citizen Jones, and dare say it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay.
Nice to be here. Thanks.
Okay. Akin is joined by broadcaster, communications expert, the suave Cyril Abaku. Cyril, I greet you too.
Thank you, Citizen Jones. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Gentlemen, let's go there. So when retired generals meet, to the bystander, they are planning something.
Retired generals. From the reservist bench, yes, they should be planning something, except that I am not going to try and make it light of this. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I do not personally think there is anything the generals are seeing or perceiving that I don't perceive. I also don't think that there is anything the generals might be looking at that has not been looked at. What may be slightly different will be in the real definition of politics. Okay?
Are you suggesting the retired generals are partisan or bipartisan? Or?
Yeah, well, partisanship comes from humanity. And so to the extent that you are a human being, you will naturally be either black or yellow or Caucasian, or you have blood or you don't have blood. You are hungry or you're not hungry. Except that they, in the right thinking of governance perspective in Nigeria, are amongst the very few that, to say, Pareto analysis, have taken so much from the states and had their own fair share of ruling or unruling or misruling, taking us to where we are at. Is that therefore say they don't have a locus to now then say, yes, we need to clearly begin to talk about Nigeria? Is there something they're going to talk about Nigeria that will not say? Allegedly, you made mention of PDP off-cycle election in Edo State that is coming, and people not wanting to sign the peace. Precisely, I would say that retired General Abubakar will be the last to say to me or to you, Citizen Jones, as a seasoned broadcaster, that we have not gotten to the precipice. We have not gotten to a situation where they say, hey, wait a minute, we are going to go down, Nigeria is going to go down. And he has always been a member of the peace movement. IBB on the Minna Council will also not say that he's not been part of trying to see how we balance things. Among the trio, in my view, IBB seems to be playing the more political balance, so to speak. And then the leader of the lot was much more senior in the military, which is Obasanjo, has been quoted to say that, so go or die in politics, and what have you. And when I heard, and I thought I had, the positive aspects of the end bad governance, part of the thing that I seem to be getting is that neither they nor the elites, whether in the private sector, whether in the military, whether it's those who are serving and those who are not serving, is that the poor are just waiting to swallow the rich. I have read a few comments that have been made by the mid ground in between, the more junior in that rank, which is
Abdulsalami
Abubakar, that will continue to give our advice to governments. Nigeria is going from bad to worse. I don't think anybody will say that Nigeria is not in a deep place. But unlike one other amongst the lots has not been ready to be a part of their meetings when they do the meetings. So I know that.
Thank you.
Otherwise, Jones, I would have just said, well, if people say they want to meet behind closed doors, I would have said, it's not my responsibility. What you decide to go and do behind your closed doors is good governance that we need, and we need to get Nigeria, whether it's Tinubu that is there right now or elsewhere, the ship of state, as was said by Obafemi Awolowo in 1983, is hidden, has hit its own rock. We need to get the wreckages back together and get ourselves back on winning ways. Thank you.
All right. Cyril, the three gentlemen, the three retired generals are known to you. They had been country heads at three different times. And so today they should come to us as father figures, who are interceding.
Yes, they should. But
ordinarily,
if you look at our trajectory in national politics, it is difficult to see yourself as a contender first for the presidency without going to pay obeisance to at least two of those three men. There were four, by the way, that met, because former NSA Ali Gusau was in the meeting. Okay, so all four generals, but among those who have ruled Nigeria, Obasanjo, IBB, and Abubakar stand out for some very epochal reasons. And we've had in our political tradition these men being referred to as the owners of Nigeria. And to that you add the likes of General T.Y. Danjuma. They are the people who have been called the owners of Nigeria.
By who?
Well, by the political commentariat. I said that by political tradition. And you find that a lot of times when you're vying for office in this country, Obasanjo's Otafam is always a hunt. They always go there. You just name them. They've always gone there, visited with him, scored his favor, then also the hilltop mansion of General Babangida. But I think after that 3-man meeting or 3 general meeting, there was then a public outing by General Abubakar when the Center for Democracy went to visit him. And when he was to speak, what did he say? He said, things are hard in the country. Nigerians are suffering. And our government must do something immediately to soften the difficulty and hardship Nigerians are facing. Now that's telling, that's deep. Because if prior to yesterday, we speculated that the 3 generals met to discuss the state of the nation, what Abubakar said after that meeting appears to be giving some credence. What did he now also say? He said that protests are built for October 1. For God's sake, or for goodness sake, protest peacefully. Now, people have spoken. They've said, government is at work, youth call up the protest. He didn't even say, give government some time. He said, protest, but protest peacefully. It means that there is a sense in which Mr. Abubakar himself, or that is to stretch our imagination, and his tribe, his power tribe, the tribe that I met before he made that speech, appear to have come to a point where they are a bit frenzied, and they are wondering, where is Nigeria heading right now? What's the path for the future? Where are we headed? What is really going on? I think that they are sufficiently worried for them to have convoked a meeting of this sort to try to find a solution or find the means. Now, my personal intervention can't be complete without me adding a few more thoughts. It is a sensitive subject, but the fact is that this kind of meeting is not a good thing. There is a sitting government in the land, and 3 generals. Gowon was not there, Jonathan was not there, Buhari was not there. Do you know why?
No, Jonathan is not a general.
No,
Buhari is.
He did it. What unites them is, well, so why wasn't Buhari there? Clearly, this is a meeting of relevant people, not just everybody that Gowon too is a former general. Gowon was not there, Jonathan was not there, Buhari was. I say they don't matter, and actually, they probably may not matter. This is a meeting of the men who people have called the owners of Nigeria.
Okay.
And so we must. Buhari wanted to become head of state. He had to visit Babangida to make peace with him. When Jonathan was to run for office in 2011, I think he also met with Babangida. When Tinubu was to run for office, he also met with Babangida. So it just goes to tell you that something isn't right about the politics of our country today, and this men meeting, for me, looks ominous.
Okay. I won't miss that word, ominous. Aki, leadership, it is said, comes with responsibility. So let me take the 3 gentlemen one by one. Ibrahim Babangida said at the time, we are in authority and we know who is not, if you remember. And he went on to be known famously or infamously as the evil genius, Obasanjo single-handedly liquidated the Nigeria Airways. Abdulsalami, MKO, Abiola died under his watch. And we're talking about the Nigerian state. Are these gentlemen still relevant?
Good. And so takes me to slightly, I don't have all the facts, and I have deep respect for Cyril in the analysis he's made. Yes, I have also heard that the owners of Nigeria, in quotes, we have 2 parties in Nigeria, the military and the civilians over time. So going to Hilltop in Minna or going to Obasanjo in Abeokuta.
So from what Cyril said, it would appear Minna Hilltop has become a Mecca.
Okay, so it's not the Mecca that perhaps because IBB is a bit immobile, unlike the rest. And in any case, two of them are in Minna. So why not? I thought the military tradition is, no matter how, you can always fly the juniors to the seniors, tumbling things. Where I disagree is to also now then say, like, take it or leave it, like it or don't like it, that Buhari is also not a political force to be reckoned with in Nigeria. To say that will be in my opinion, taking things too lightly. I know a large swathe section of Nigeria still believe that Buhari is still their boo-boo. Yeah, okay, he's still their baba and what have you, irrespective. Now, with the Obasanjo that you mentioned, it was suddenly like Obasanjo needed to have done a couple of things which he didn't do. And we know that the height of it was the infight that they had, between himself and Atiku Abubakar. Didn't take us far. Nigeria needed to have moved notches if you had kind of good governance during their time. I go back to Abdulsalami Abubakar. We know the conspiracy theories that happened at that time. We also know that the current constitution that we are looking at, that was now being doctored by Professor Yadudu, was such that it was still in the works when Obasanjo, who I think should know his audience, went and got sworn in. Who will be fooling whom? In my opinion, I really don't know. I also think, unlike what Cyril said, we've gone through this way before. It's true. Things are not moving in the right direction. They should be the first to tell us that we are hungry. They also should not be the first to tell us that we are angry. But to now dovetail it and then curtail it and say it's against Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be a narrow way of looking at it. Yes, politics is a game of who gets what, where, and when. And if Bola Tinubu was not president of Nigeria today, I know perhaps it will even do worse in terms of whoever is there. The Nigerian state is not been structured to perform. Amongst these three generals, also I had, not alleged, that they say Nigeria is not negotiable. We know Nigeria is negotiable. So if we are now running after vested interests,
I think that statement should rightly be the sovereignty of Nigeria is not non-negotiable.
And I think it's
not that the country was not negotiable.
I think the sovereignty of Nigeria is not negotiable. Nigeria must remain the same Nigeria, and we all see beyond that in a sea-page fashion that they are lying to themselves and they are lying to us. And because the way Nigeria is structured is for a few, by a few, who decide for the vast majority. And no matter how smart or whatever that, in certain parts of the country, there are some people that says is their birthright and they will have to give a nod before we can decide.
So
for
the
Nigeria.
meeting of generals at the hilltop in Minna is simply all about interest.
I think it's about interest. And then you can then come back and tell me that it's the interest of Nigeria, interest of which Nigerians, which set of Nigerians, okay? For instance, I think Nigeria has been standing on a tripod of a line that is a Yoruba, it's a Hausa Fulani, and it's the Southeast. In between are so many other agitations. There are quite a number of people in certain parts of the country who also want to buy for
every part
presidency.
of Nigeria has been hurt.
The truth of the matter is that I personally, I don't think I need an Obasanjo. I need an Atiku Abubakar or IBB to tell me we are going to be where we are today. 10, 15, 16 years ago, if you have listened to me.
Yeah.
And predictions have been made in all aspects of the fact that Nigeria was going to unravel. They were there. They did their bit. And then we now have somebody who is now preaching a hope agenda. Unfortunately, in my mind, which I think if you went there to talk about that, then I can understand that, look, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the hope agenda is such that so many people are suffering, but quite a number of people surrounding you are smiling. It should be even. We don't want to see character. We want to see more of competence. We want to see more of real balancing. The situation is such that in your southwest, people say they want to go on their own. In Biafra say they want to go and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can decide to go, but do it through the normal process. But for Tinubu to keep on saying that his priority is economy, that we are not getting a leeway on, open the flank for politicians to now dance right, left, and center. But let's look at Nigeria. Let's look at what the patriots came out and said. Okay, it's high time. I don't see what the trio will be saying that is going to be that you can say is so to what the patriots have said. Let's all sit down together, including these three generals, and decide how Nigeria should be. Should we continue? Should we all sit around the table? Or should we continue the way we are going? In a way and manner that, as an example, Nnamdi Kanu is still in incarceration and has to be a political answer that we have to try and resolve. Pure and simple.
Okay. Cyril, Akin is talking about patriots. Do we still have them around?
No, we do. And
is it possible to name one or two of them?
Nigerian patriots. I'm a Nigerian patriot. I believe in this country. I will work for my country, and where necessary, pay the price to keep my country.
Okay, I think Akin was thinking of a different set of patriots.
Well,
I may be wrong. I have no right.
No. I understand the patriots I was talking about as a group, as a body. We know them.
For him.
Michael Zekome has joined them now. Anthony Killer is part of them, and so on. Yeah, so the patriots, they made a recommendation recently for calling for a new constitution. But be that as it may, even if these three men...
But I thought we had rested the debate. Our problem is not constitutional.
Well, again, I don't want to get into that
No, but because when you bring
in my opinion,
the constitution to this table, you are saying the propriety has refused to go away.
Yes, but in my view, it's both attitudinal and also constitutional. You take a little from here and a little from here, and then you marry the three. But where I was going...
Cyril, why I say that is the 1999 Constitution as amended, even if contentious,
yes,
you and I know that if we adopted it, the spirit and the letter, we won't be here perhaps.
Yes, because the fact is that we don't entirely need a constitution to be a good people. If you want to achieve great attitude as a society, you may not necessarily need laws. Parents raise children. There's no handbook, national universal handbook for how to raise children. But parents do raise children.
There's a natural handbook.
Of course there is. So if we want to follow such a natural handbook for nation building, why not? But there's a reason we need a body of laws, and if we must have laws, let's have them correctly. Now come back to the matter on the table about the patriots, these three men, if you like, the three musketeers meeting in Minna. Citizen Jones. In economics, Adam Smith has told us the butcher, the brewer, and the baker. You have your bread, your meat, and wine. Not always because the butcher had you in mind, nor because the baker was thinking of you, not because the brewer wanted to have you. It is because he is looking for profit. Since he needs your money, he has to give you what you need. So his interest is your money. Your interest is what is producing.
Interest is key.
It's key. So even if these men are meeting for their interest, they look we need to look at the clouds to tell what weather is saying. Because if you don't do that and you don't take precaution, it is either the sun beats you or the rain beats you. It's one of the two. I maintain that even if these three men met for their own interests, something is at stake in our country that we cannot take our eyes off of. Look, it is not in the character of former Nigerian leaders to support or back protesters. This is class suicide. It's all characteristic. They've been known to toe a very conservative, not least northern press.
Yes, sir, but the situation becomes even more demanding when you realize that all three men were country heads at different times. And take Babangida ruled for 8 calendar years, August 26, 1985 to August 26, 1993. 8 years.
August 27 to August 26.
8 years. So are you bothered by the 24 hours? Yeah. Obasanjo came back a second time after his first stint as a military ruler, came back as an elected gentleman. So if there was anything spectacular Babangida or Obasanjo could have done, if they did it, we won't be here today.
So now I'm glad you've gone.
Perhaps the only odd one out is Abdulsalami.
Now I'm glad, yes, but I'm glad you went there. I'm not here to hold brief for or to defend their performance in office. That's not what I'm doing.
No, but their performances in office
cannot be.
No. But they go a long way in shaping our. If they meant well.
Well, of course, I was going there. If you just let me go.
All right, go.
Obasanjo handed power over to a democratically elected government
of his choice.
Well, not of his choice. There was an election. When somebody didn't like that act of election,
is debatable, Cyril.
Citizen Jones, I'm a student of political history. I know the stories very well.
You want me to rehash
the 2019? Yeah, of course, I know. Justice.
I don't think
Justice Digbe, you know, the rest of them.
The Attorney General.
And then Richard Akinjide going to court to debate. We understand the contentious Kanu votes. But what willingly he voluntarily came into power and willingly said was going to hand power over. By the way,
Obasanjo had a choice.
No, but Obasanjo didn't stage a coup. Citizen now, please.
Obasanjo asked for third term.
He didn't stage a coup. No, in 79, in 76, he didn't stage a coup. Okay. He faithfully followed through with Murtala's program and handed power over to Shagari. Now, in fact, Obasanjo was so selfless in 79 that on the day he handed power over to Shagari on October 1, they finished the ceremonies and found that he didn't have a car to take him away. He trekked out of that place. If my history now,
he trekked out of where?
Was it race course after the handover to Shagari?
And then
there was no car to convey.
They went somewhere, Temperance Gardens, which he never had before. No, I'm only saying that it's a choice that you may walk with your leg and then you have something somewhere.
Well, it's fine. So, by handing power over to a civilian, which was a good record, by the way. Then, Babangida, of course, staged a coup, okay, and wanted to be president. In the manner of speaking, Babangida is still the architect of the democracy of the practice today because it was his checkered June 12 struggle that he created, basically, that led to agitation until 1999.
In other words, your point is that we have a democracy. He handed over a democracy.
No, he did not. But what I'm saying is that it was his misadventure. No, please don't put words in the mouth.
No, serious. So you don't think June 12, the imbroglio that followed the June 12 saga is a fly in the ointment of Babangida?
Look, it more than was. And what I'm saying is that Babangida's missteps and misadventure with the Third Republic largely also accentuated the labor pains that led us to
and of course, you won't you say, that it was he's not being able to contain Abacha that made him leave?
No, but of course, citizens, we're saying the same things. Look, it was a mess Babangida created.
In different ways.
Yes, now.
There are three sides to a coup. You are on one side, he's the other side.
And the third side, the edge.
And this edge, if by inference, therefore, or what we call res ipso facto, in logicism, I am in agreement with you that Obasanjo did a great thing and willingly handed over to another regime, and likewise IBD, and likewise Jonathan. So it's not as if he's done anything.
No, but his was the first.
Now, okay.
He set a record that, you know, I mean, you can't blame
The
Obasanjo.
only other thing I'm going to say here is that I can say it and I keep my peace. Is that while he was doing those heroic things, and I think they were heroic, he was also known, as been put on records, as saying that a democratic experiment that was to come, and he saw an Abiola and said it was not the Messiah that Nigeria deserved.
Yeah,
No, but what year was that? What year was that?
All I'm saying is that these are political animals, that they have their own vested interests.
Yeah, the idea is not to take anything away from you, but let's talk about Obasanjo a little longer. You know, apart from Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obasanjo is the only other country head who has had a lot of ink in his pen. He had written letters to almost every country head, excepting himself,
yes,
and Nnamdi Azikiwe, you know.
All right.
So, but he had the chance of coming back a second time as a democratically elected
government,
president. Did he fare well?
Well,
you mentioned his tiff with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Was that tiff not enough to have sent an Abubakar to jail?
Not only send an Abubakar to jail, in fact, send all of them to say, well, he has served. Okay, look, I'm not making a light of this. As far as I'm concerned, like you are saying, Cyril, so let's look at things as half filled bottle and not half empty. So I can concede that to you. But I'm a bit worried that the three of them decide to go to Minna, and the three of them didn't go to the current president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I am a bit worried about the style. The Patriots went.
We should be worried. I agree that, yes, we should be worried.
So, this is the reason why, therefore, I am saying politics is a game of who gets what, where, you know.
A game of interest.
Out of Lasky. And as far as I am concerned, I also know, please let's hit it on the head, that there's been a lot of restiveness. Their military officers, I know a lot of restiveness in the military and all that. Yes, you say it exactly as it is. And these are things that I know Obasanjo will not broach. And he went all out saying that, and then weeded out the politicians among the military. I just hope, and you are making a point, but I didn't see where you are going to land on your point.
I wasn't given room to land.
No, you had a pilot to land. The point is, there were three generals, and you also mentioned Buhari, and Buhari was not part of them. You also mentioned Gowon was not part of them. Let's be very careful at the way.
Is that curious?
It's curious.
No, but you see, because I was talking about influence and those that matter.
No. We can't say, I will not sit here and say that IBB does not matter. It doesn't matter if you don't like him. Okay? I will not sit here and say the one does not matter. Why is it that these two, because they belong to that same party, why were they not carried along? Or it's a situation of where, yes,
or maybe they're too old for the,
or maybe they are not complacent, because these two, and that's the point I want to make here. These two have made their ways to Asorok and have spoken to Mr. President. That Mr. President is taking what they are suggesting, who like and sinker, is another different
or maybe cherry picking.
So, if you want to now then say there is a crack, I think that is what's the thing. There's a crack in the camp of the other party, which is the military. I think there's a crack.
No, but
that crack, they are going to Minna to go and lock themselves up and all that. For the very first time in the history of our politics, and I am not standing for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In fact, you better listen to a lot of the things I've said. I'm not happy, but notwithstanding, we have a president who is, quote unquote, supposed to be his own man, unlike the others that we've had. And if you think he will just sit down and be a lame duck on account of what is happening at Minna, let Minna let Abeokuta, let Lagos, let the whole of Nigeria recognize again. I go back to the fact that Nigeria is not working. Democracy is not working.
Yeah, Akin, Nigeria is in a bad place.
Nigeria is in a bad place. We are hungry, we are angry, the youth are resting, we want to go on strike. And Abubakar Dada said that, yes, it's just a right to protest. But he also said, don't let the protests now dovetail into going to attack.
We should even ask ourselves
into the innocent. Is that not what everybody has been saying all this while?
We should see. Look, I like to follow politics from a pragmatic point of view, even if because of my personal moral standing, I may not practice it that way. But I like to read things that way. Now, citizen, we asked some days ago, or was it yesterday, the PDP NWC was in Bauchi to meet Governor Bala Mohammed.
Yes.
The governor said it was an unsolicited visit, which means he didn't invite them. They came to him.
They invited themselves.
Yes.
But he opened
his
doors.
He did. But it is telling that he didn't solicit the visit, they came. Of course, it's your party, you let them in. Now, again, this conference where the visit where Abdulsalami was telling the NGO, people should protest, but they should protest peacefully.
Yes.
There's hunger in the land, government should soften.
That's true.
I can tell you that from years of following politics, he wanted to speak. If you can check this.
He came short?
No, he did not. See what I mean? He wanted to say what he said. If you went and check, now go to Obasanjo's library or go to all these places, with the protocol people have hundreds of thousands of letters. People have written and say visit, and they've not responded.
Yes.
Did he call them to come? Or did he suddenly agree that they should come? How did the meeting even happen?
So what's
wrong
with that?
I hope you are not begging the question.
Okay. Because they met under closed doors.
Yeah,
it's not closed doors. I'm saying that
they met under open doors, and we are all speculating.
Hold on. The Minna meeting must have been at the behest
of somebody.
In this case, Ibrahim Babangida.
Maybe not.
Okay, maybe Obasanjo.
No. But General Ibrahim Babangida opened his doors to them.
We want to think that for health reasons.
No, but he did.
No, but of course, he
reserved the right to.
So the next are going to see in the balance of terror, because it's a balance of terror thing within that party, the military. So I might now see Igowon and Buhari.
They also not. Who listens
to so they don't listen to them. So it is IBD that we should listen to in this country.
How often has a presidential candidate gone to Jos to say they want to see Igowon, or to Dara say they want to see? If Buhari has been demystified.
They have.
Buhari does not have. Buhari stands for Chancellor in Dara. You will lose today.
Nigeria must know these are true. When these politicians wanted to come in, they all went to Katsina. They all went to Katsina. So the point I am making is we are begging the issues. Okay. I think
Sirius seems to forget the line I quote here, from Napoleon Bonaparte. In politics, stupidity is not a handicap.
It's not a handicap.
Please, don't write anybody off.
This is the issue. And this should summarize my thoughts on this matter.
Very good.
All right, we must begin.
Yes, anybody downplaying the meeting of these three men is not reading what's going on correctly.
Okay.
And conversely, anybody overplaying it is overreading the situation.
Okay.
And therefore, so I stay two sides now. My own side of it.
Because we have been, Zabudaya, if you don't mind that, he says we have seen 99. So Nigeria has seen more than 99 rough patches.
And I
so who is the 100th?
And like Zabudaya will say to Valeria of blessed memory, Valeria now, and then I say, look, you know what? We are hungry, yes. We are angry, yes. Nigeria will run to the ground by all, yes. The poor are waiting to swallow the rich, yes. And so we must all get back to doing the right things and not being partisan.
And I can also remember Zabudaya said Gary does not obey the last order until it sees hot water and so on.
It won't be cold water. Some people like Gary in cold water. So
Okay.
they'll not be able to now then say Gary is Gary, but when he sees water, it bows.
Yeah,
So
the last order.
the last that I'm going to say here, whether military, whether revolution, some people are calling for, whether we begin to decapitate ourselves all in the streets, we also come back to the top. We all sit around the table to now then decide how to go. So what's the point? All this that I'm seeing, we have all, including the three that went to meet in Minna, including me, perhaps including you, and we had so many of us who've had our hands to doing the wrong thing for our country. We have not been governed, we have not been structured, and we have not been ordered. We must get governance in such a way that the structures will be ordered and hopefully will be peaceful. We are treading on a path that is not of peace. The off-cycle elections is going to draw a lot of blood. I pray I am wrong, but I am only telling you what I see in the
Akin, we have had many off-cycle elections before now. Why they are doing, for instance?
I hope so. Now,
why?
Because PDP, I don't know what party Obasanjo belongs to right now. I really don't know. It says that it doesn't belong to any party.
Obasanjo has not formally resigned from the PDP. Forget that he tore his party card the last time.
Okay, so maybe they couple it together and give it back to him. I think as statesmen, you remain statesmen. I also strongly believe, in my own opinion, that whether Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the current president of Nigeria, likes or does not like it, it's now time to listen to all shades, including whoever has gone to meet in Minna or elsewhere. Revolution now is such that
it's not too late to do so.
It's not too late. And if he is the political calculus that I expect him to be able to read the radar, I think certain moves will come from government, not necessarily to counter or to say that they should not meet, but to now take the fine points that Abubakar has mentioned. Also take the final point that the patriots have mentioned. Also take the final point that you have also mentioned here, Cyril and Citizen Jones. We must be listened to, we must be governed, and we don't want selfishness that we see in all tiers of government. Okay? The federal, we're not talking about the states. So many things go on in the state. We are running a constitution, I repeat, that is not fit for purpose. It will not take us to any promised land. That constitution is just turn by turn, a milocon now. Okay, so maybe it's going to be the southeast somewhere, and then the northeast will then say, look, it's also going to be a turn, it will be their turn, and Nigeria will continue to be in a comatose state. A word again, like I said, is enough for the wise.
Okay. Cyril, how do you take this on?
Again, Mr. President has to listen, because in my opinion, the drumbeat is changing. And it behoves leadership to wake up, to sit up and to smell the coffee while he still can. I sincerely feel that there's a change in tone by even the establishment, because the sovereign in the land is biting very, very hard. What government can do, maybe take it from where General Abubakar left it off. Soften the hardship in the land. Take bold steps, even if it means reversing yourself, reverse yourself and do the needful. For example, oil marketers shouldn't be talking of importing petrol despite the coming on stream of Dangote refinery
And the PIA.
and the PIA. Dangote is saying, I sold you fuel at this amount, and NNB saying, you sold us for higher. So this is clear cut, and the president is quiet. He's the Minister of Petroleum. Didn't they see the receipts? This president may be supervising Nigeria's biggest corruption machine. What he must do is to wake up and act. If he doesn't do that, whatever happens, he cannot claim innocence.
All right, folks, we must apply the brakes here, but not before dropping this last line of mine. Elder statesmen of or forebears, if you like, retired generals, should not become substitutes for democracy in our land. We say we are aping the United States of America. I hope we do so in spirit and in truth. But let's thank the two gentlemen. Cyril Abaku, thank you for your time.
My pleasure, sir.
Akin Fanuke, many thanks for your intervention.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We'll be here until the next time. On behalf of the Backroom Boys, this is yours sincerely, Citizen Jones Hussein saying, bye-bye now. Take care.